There are metaphors so ancient and so recursive that we have to ask ourselves at some point whether or not there is something intuitive there, whether or not there is something deeper at play, whether or not this is some type of evolutionary memory, evolutionary uh, instinct, right? What is an instinct if not an inborn memory? Welcome to Strip Cover Lit, where we squeeze the bigger picture out of literature. I'm Adrian Fort, and we're here for another poetry discussion, which will appear, of course, inside the poetry discussion playlist here on the channel. A playlist now approaching 650 videos strong. The poem in question today is Crossing the Bar by Alfred Lord Tennyson, and it reads as such. Sunset and evening star, and one clear call from me. And may there be no moaning of the bar when I put out to sea, but such a tide as moving seems asleep, too full for sound and foam, when that which drew from out the boundless deep turns again home. Twilight and evening bell, and after that the dark, and may there be no sadness of farewell when I embark. For though from out our bourne of time and place the flood may bear me far, I hope to see my pilot face to face when I have crossed the bar. The idea of crossing the river, the idea of crossing water as a metaphor for death, is an idea, a metaphor that goes back as deep as time itself. I am always drawn to wonder at these sorts of phenomenon. Was there something deeper to this? So when you clap near a baby, the baby sprawls. You would think that a loud noise would make a baby curl up, would make a baby assume the fetal position. So it seems there is something instinctual at play when that happens. One of the theories that I have heard is that when we were evolving from lower apes, maybe that's not the correct term, those loud noises are like what the mother would make when running towards the baby, and that what do they call it, the tensile strength of babies is enough to support their own weight. They think that in previous stages of evolution, a mother would just run over their child, the child would latch on, and the mother would be off. This is instinct. This is memory of time. And, so that may seem something that is nonsensical, but how else do, for example, animals know what they can and can't eat? For example, instinct is a real thing. Is there something instinctual to this idea of the water being that which represents death? Is there, or crossing the water, representing moving on to the other side? I've always wondered if it was something like, before we had all of the technology that we do, bodies of water were a real problem. People going across a body of water might not come back. Is it something that simple? But there is something else that I want to talk about with this poem. And it's right here. Sunset and evening star, and one clear call for me. So this is the big one. This is death. Sunset and evening star, we're coming to the close of day. We're coming to the time where we got to shove off, sailor. And may there be no moaning of the bar when I put out to sea. I don't want any commotion made for me. I don't want any commotion made when I die. I want it to be a quiet affair. No one should be sad. Is this a healthy thought? Is this a sign of a life well lived? So, when you are confident in whatever story it is you're telling, you feel comfortable just relaying the facts. My dog ate my homework. If it's true, that's as far as it goes. But if it's not true, my dog ate my homework. She's a big dog, right? And I guess we didn't get home in time to feed her, so there wasn't any food in the dish, and she found my lunch bag, and I had accidentally spilled there was spaghetti sauce on the paper I was having to write my paper while I ate. I didn't have a whole lot of time. Mom has a job, and I had to go. And if you're not confident in the facts, you don't think that the story speaks for itself. If you are not confident in the life that you have lived, do you not feel as if the life has spoken for itself? Your work has spoken for itself? Is that what's being argued here? Or is it quite the opposite? I can't, honestly, make up my mind. I do believe that there is something like that if you have lived a life that you feel has provided, has been worth living. Why would you want to make others sad upon your exit? However, I do think that there is something of the exact opposite to be at play here too. How often have you heard someone say in the depths of sort of, how would you say, in a YouTube-friendly way, mental anguish? They don't want to be a burden on anyone. I don't want to be a burden. When you're in that place, I think that getting someone riled up over your exit would feel as if it were a burden. Perhaps these two questions are not, or these two answers, I suppose I should say, are not mutually exclusive. Maybe it's like that, the bell curve of the midwit, right? Have you seen that? There's the graph that's the bell curve, and over here you have the low IQ people. Here you have the midwits, and over here you have genius level individuals. They come to the same conclusion. It's all those people in the middle that have overthought the idea and gotten to a different conclusion. Maybe that's it. Perhaps people who want others to be negatively affected or saddened by their passing or their exit or their disappearance, right? There's various times in life where you will disappear from certain settings. You graduate high school, maybe you go off to college. Do you worry what those people that you left behind have thought about you? Left behind might be too strong a term. You have moved to a different stage in life, and they were working at the stage in life where they were, right? You leave a workplace for another workplace. Do you wonder what those people that you have left behind think about you? You used to haunt a specific restaurant or etc. Do you wonder what the people do you wonder if those people wonder what happened to you? Is that midwittery? Would it be midwittery, or would it be, so there's two different things at play. There's IQ, which is intelligence, intelligence quotient, and there's EQ, emotional quotient. Maybe this is not on the IQ scale, it's on the EQ scale. This idea that I don't want anyone to miss me when I'm gone. Is that an emotionally mature idea? Or is it an emotionally a sign of emotional distress. That is all I have for this poetry discussion. If you like or appreciate what it is that I do here, hitting the like button really does help me out, as it tells YouTube to share this video with other literature lovers. If you find yourself here by chance but not design, literature is the only thing I talk about on this channel, dropping multiple videos every single week. There's poetry every Monday, and I hope to have you back for the next one.